Yo, what it do, YouTube? And welcome back to another video with your boy, who is me, KV McKinley. Yes, sir. Hope everybody's doing well on today. And if this is your first time watching, welcome to the McKinley family. Yes, sir. McKinley Squad, you already know where we at. We right here. Yes, Lord. So, I decided I was going to come back with another movie review. And I'm gonna be doing a movie review on the newest Marvel movie, Deadpool and Wolverine. Yes, sir, man. When I tell you, I was waiting all of last year and this year for this movie. This is one of the movies that I've been really waiting on to release this year. There was only like 2 of them, and this was one of them. The other one was Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and that already came out back in May. But this one is supposed to be the only MCU movie of the year, and I thought what better way to get my reaction than by doing a movie review on it. Now, we ain't gonna waste no more time. We're gonna get straight into it. Before we get into this, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Now let's do this movie review on Deadpool and Wolverine. Yes, sir. So, before I do get into the video, I do want to let you know there will be spoilers. So if you have not seen the movie, go ahead and click off. Don't want to spoil it for you. I want you to go watch the movie. All right, let's get into the movie. Bro, that first scene, that was just the perfect Deadpool intro I've ever seen. I think the only thing that I was more so going to be curious about going into the movie was how the TVA was going to be involved. I was thinking that he was in trouble with the TVA. That was basically their way of trying to get him to the MCU in a sense, which was an interesting take. I was really just curious how they were going to do that. But the question that everybody wants to know is, why was Thor crying? Why was Thor crying? I want to know, why was Thor crying in that little clip that he was showing? They obviously got something already cooked up that they're just not going to show us. They're going to tease. And just going to have to wait. What about Deadpool digging up Logan, though, from like the Logan movie? I think the whole time I was just curious as to how they were going to bring Logan back. I didn't know which universe they were going to bring him back from. Literally jumped from universe to universe to universe to universe. And who do we get? Henry Cavill as Wolverine. I think he would do great. I had my doubts about it when they first announced that he may do it, but seeing him on screen the way he was, I ain't got no problem. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Now, one thing I do want to address that I originally had a problem with, but now I don't. That scene in the movie where Wolverine was hanging on the X. At first, it looked like a shot at Christianity, trying to mock it. But then I thought about 2 instances, actually 3. One that's not a cross, that's an X. 2, in War of the Planet of the Apes, Caesar was on an X just like that. So we got a problem with that. We gotta have a problem with that too. 3, that was actually in a comic book that I didn't know about. The Uncanny X-Men. I had no idea. I don't really read comics like that. Maybe I should, but apparently that wasn't a shot. I haven't even read the comic, but it looks like in that comic book he was crucified in some way. I'll have to read the comic book to find out what exactly happened, but I'm not taking it as a shot at Christianity at all. So yeah, I'm not really offended by it anymore. But back into the movie. We had a lot of cameos in this movie. Johnny Storm. I was so hyped in that theater when that happened. When he said, "Flame on!" I literally screamed in that theater. Oh my goodness. Everybody started clapping in there. If you guys watched it, I hope that the theater that you went to go watch it passed the vibe test. When it comes to Marvel movies, I needed rowdy. I'm telling you, I needed rowdy like Endgame is coming out. To this day, I cannot watch Endgame and it feel the same. Like when Cap grabs Thor's hammer, it's not gonna feel the same just watching it at home. I need that rowdiness. I need it. I need it. Man, when Blade came out, oh God, I was lit up in there. This is what I needed. This is what I needed for the summer. This is what I needed for the summer. I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about Channing Tatum as Gambit, but It'll have to grow on me. I knew he was coming, but when I saw him initially come out as Gambit, I was excited because they had been talking about Gambit coming back for the longest. And man, did he look great. Oh, and Elektra came back too. But guess what? I didn't really watch Elektra. I didn't watch Elektra. So when everybody was like, oh, I didn't really care. I was like, oh, okay. Maybe I should watch it. To be honest, they should have kept X-23 out of the trailer because I would have been a lot more excited had she just showed up. And I think everybody else would have too. Some of the trailers just gave up a lot. I didn't like that. Like the X-23, that could have been kept a secret at least. Like they kept Johnny Storm a secret, and Blade, and Elektra, and Gambit. To jump into Wolverine a little bit, some moments, he was kind of underwhelming. I don't know, it just wasn't giving in some instances. I think I was kind of just forgetting that it's more so a Deadpool movie and not Deadpool and Wolverine. And it was almost like you can kind of see that they were intentionally making sure that Wolverine does not steal the show. Like, that's how it felt to me. Not saying that he should have or whatever, but that's literally how it felt. Like, they were making sure, like, hey, this is a Deadpool movie. We're not going to have Wolverine steal the show, you know? But at the end of the day, they still both got equal amount of lines, camera time, and I still enjoyed it. So there's that. That fight scene, we got crawling Wolverine on all fours. Man, that suit looked great, period. When they put on that mask, I was not ready. I was sitting there like, what is he doing? Oh my God. He's putting on the mask. When he put on that mask, I figured out if everybody else was hyped. I think so. I think everybody else was hyped. I know I was hyped. I ain't even care. I was hyped, man. Man, oh man. Now that I got all the praises out the way for the movie, now I gotta get to the nitty gritty of the things that I didn't like. Or didn't understand, should I say. Before the movie came out, there was always talks about how this movie was going to be the movie that makes everything else make sense as far as the multiverse saga. To be honest, I didn't feel like we got that. Felt like it was more so a thank you and an appreciation to the characters in 20th Century Fox. Which I'm not necessarily saying is a bad thing. I'm just saying that's not what I thought we were getting, basically. It wasn't a bad movie, because I just said I love the movie. But in terms of like the MCU and where the timeline stands, I didn't necessarily understand how that was going to impact going forward. I was expecting more when it came to like the timeline, you know? But I understood like there's some things from Loki and everything, like how when the TVA zaps you and they end up going to, I forgot what the place is called. I'm just gonna call it Down Under for right now. And that's where all the forgotten heroes and villains were, especially from the X-Men and stuff. And then they had the 20th Century Fox down there. Didn't necessarily understand how any of that really pertained to like the MCU outside of these are the people that Fox got rid of, you know? I understand it's the multiverse and then there might be some breaches, maybe. There might be some breaches now. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the movie as a Deadpool movie. As an MCU movie, I felt like we didn't really get what they said we were supposed to get. That's just me. I still enjoyed it. I just didn't feel like we got what we were supposed to get in that sense. But that's that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else about the movie I want to mention. I just thought it was crazy that literally 2 days later, we find out that Robert Downey Jr. is playing Dr. Doom. Man, that was the news I needed Sunday morning. That was the news that I needed. Avengers Doomsday. I'm gonna miss Jonathan Majors, man. I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna miss him. I hate that all that happened, but it is what it is, man. I wish him the best. And Robert Downey Jr., I want to give you my genuine thoughts on that real quick. I told my homeboy the other day, I said, I feel like Marvel is losing money because outside of Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Deadpool, oh, and Shang-Chi, that was solid. They haven't really been making any bangers. This saga hasn't really been, it ain't been given. WandaVision was cool. Loki was cool. I did enjoy Loki. Falcon Winter Soldier, I also enjoyed that. Eternals, I fell asleep. I didn't even finish watching that. Black Widow was 3 years too late. They could have did that between Infinity War and Endgame. If it was in between Infinity War and Endgame, I would have enjoyed it more. The Marvels was solid. I think I was just more so excited about Beast at the end of that. But yeah, I just feel like all their movies haven't been hitting. Like, and I understand. And some of y'all are like some diehard fans. I'm like, let Kevin Feige cook. I've let him cook this whole time, and he's almost burnt the kitchen down at this point. To the point where he's had to go get Robert Downey Jr. I don't think that he'll be the main Doctor Doom. I think he'll be a variant, and then we'll get the real Doctor Doom. Hopefully we get him in Fantastic Four next year, which is the next movie I am super excited to see next year. I feel like Fantastic Four will be the movie that connects everything together, to be honest. Because all this other stuff just ain't been it. I'm a big fan of the MCU, and I'm gonna always watch, but I will say if it was trash. I will say if a movie is trash. I'm not afraid to say it. Period. Deadpool was great, but as far as the MCU goes, I felt like we could have got a little bit better. It was definitely funny though, but I felt like we could have got it better. Yeah. That's pretty much it for this movie review. I think I mentioned everything just about. I'm pretty sure I'll watch this back and I'm like, oh, I didn't mention this, but that's pretty much everything that stood out to me. If I had to give Deadpool Wolverine a rating, I would give it a 9. And that is because of the things I just told you. If it was an MCU movie, like, I felt disappointed. But as far as a Deadpool movie, I thought the movie was great. And I will stand on that. Period. But that is the end of this movie review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And I will be back with some more content very soon. Who knows? But drop that beat on. So I did just finish recording the video, but one thing I also wanted to mention was I did feel like Deadpool broke the fourth wall too much. The first couple times I was like, yeah, from the beginning of the movie all the way to the end, all he did was break the fourth wall. Not saying that it wasn't funny, but I felt like it was a little played out after a while. And I felt like they should have just stopped at some point and just like kind of, not saying kept it serious, kept it comical, but like, you know, still be kind of serious. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's all I wanted to say at the end of it. So yeah, drop that beat on them.